we all would like to ask you this. In the screen, you can see in the host screen, we can see the Ajib to Ajibta there, right, in both Hafs and Warsh. Just give an answer, which is in the original text of Uthman, no? Is in the Uthmanic text.
No, I
Listen
mean,
first, okay?
I thought you
Listen
asked the
first. Be
question.
wise.
I thought you asked
Be
the
wise,
question.
okay?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Be wise. Don't act like the prophet.
Can you ask
Okay, here's the question, no? Here's the question. What was in the what was in the Uthmanic text in Surah 37:12? And in that verse, particular verse, was the one in Uthmanic text the Ajibtu or the Ajibta?
I didn't say anything. I was waiting. I don't
Okay, so
understand
let's go
why
back to
you're
zero.
saying.
Okay, let's go back to zero. Let's go back to zero.
Yeah,
So
no worries.
I've asked
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, your
I have
question
asked you.
was which one is in the
Which
Uthmanic.
was
Yeah, I heard your question. I heard your question. It's fine. So your question was which one is in the original Uthmanic text, aka the Uthmanic standardization, and to that I would say that they were both in there, and I'll explain to you why. So in the original Uthmanic standardization, at that point in time, diacritical marks were not invented yet. So if you pay attention to the actual Arabic words, you'll see that they're the exact same. The only difference is that there's a line on top of the last letter of the one on the bottom, and then the one on the top, there's a bit of a line, then it turns into a circle, right? So those diacritical markings, if you search it up, were not invented until later on. So the original Uthmanic standardization, so the original Uthmanic standardization of the Quran just did not have either of them. It did not have the line, nor did it have that wow that we call dhamma. I didn't have either. So it would just be Ajabt, and then you could read it as Ajabta or Ajabtu, depending on the qira'at that you learned from the Prophet. And all these
that's your answer, no? That's your answer, no?
One sec. So all these qira'at trace back to the Prophet, and we even have authentic hadith to prove that. So everything is fine.
Yeah, that's your answer, no?
That's just what it is.
Okay. No, listen. So, what did Muhammad recite? Did Muhammad mention Ajabtu or Ajabta?
The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned both. He was taught 7 ahruf, and that's the ahruf that he taught us. So the Quran was revealed in 7 different modes of recitation, aka ways to recite the words.
Do we have any hadith, any dalil, any evidence that Muhammad mentioned both?
Yes, we do actually.
What the hadith number?
I'll bring it up for you. Yeah, I'll bring it up. I don't have the number memorized, but I'll bring it up now.
Here's the third. Here's the third, no? So, what I asked is the exact hadith that Muhammad exactly quoting the 37:12. It was evidently an Ajibta or an Ajibtu, because we don't know. Maybe he mentioned Ajibti, because the Ajibtu was just later on. They were just later on.
Ajibti wouldn't be correct grammatically in that sentence. You can't say Ajibti.
Now, that's the reason why we asked you the exact hadith that Muhammad really mentioned Ajibta or Ajibtu in a single number of the hadith. The question that I've asked you is the very exact verse. What did he really mention in it? Whether it was Ajibta or Ajibtu, what exactly was? So you need to show us. You failed to show us a while ago. No, this is your last chance. Give us the hadith that whether the Ajibta, either Ajibta or Ajibtu. Can you find the hadith for us?
Thank you for your observation.
Just confess first. You don't have the exact hadith of the chapter 37:12 that Muhammad really mentioned the exact word. Do you have the exact word? Do you have the exact hadith number that Muhammad was quoting 37 of the Quran verse 12?
As I said, we have authentic chains of narration.
You're not answering the question. Do you have the specific hadith
and the Warsh Qira'ah back to the Prophet? But your question you're asking me, I gave you an umbrella hadith that includes this, right? That includes this. So for you to ask me where does this rule apply to this specific verse, this is not the only place where you find this. Your question is absurd.
Is very clear.
Okay.
Do you have the specific hadith number that Muhammad was quoting surah? What is that surah 37? What's that? What name of the surah? What is that? Surah 37?
So what does this prove?
That proves that you don't have any evidence that Muhammad really mentioned the exact word, because it might be ajibti, or ajibtin, ajibtan, or ajibtun.
Yes,
So you
it's
have
both.
position as
Yes,
it
yes,
might be a
it's both.
tanwin fatha, it might be a tanwin kasra, it might be a tanwin damma.
No, no, it wouldn't be
Please
Tanwin
show
Kasra
us
and
the
Dhamma. That
specific
would be,
hadith that
yeah,
Muhammad exactly mentioning ajibtu or ajibta. Show us what hadith number is that. Come on.
yeah, yeah. So Tanwin
Question.
Fatha and Dhamma cannot apply here because it's for nouns, right?
Okay, so
So
you
that doesn't
cannot really
apply.
give it to us. Yeah, in short, you are still stuck in a problem that you cannot still show the exact hadith of the Surah chapter 37 that Muhammad really mentioned the correct one. Right? You don't have it, right? You don't have it.
It doesn't exist. No, it doesn't exist.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So for example, this is Hafs, no? This is Hafs. On the bottom of it, it says 57. This is chapter 57, Al-Hadid, verse 23. So you can see here, listen first. Ladina yabajalun, wayamurun, nasa bukalun waman, yatawala fa inna laha huwal ghaniya. So after the word laha, there is the word huwa. Okay, this is from Hafs. If you go to Warsh, it's now different. So let's read. This is Warsh. Alladina yabjalun wa yamurun nasabil wa ma yatawala fa inna laha. So after the word laha, the word huwa was removed. But in Hafs there was huwa. Let's go back. Now the question, which was in the original? Was in the original text there was huwa or there was no huwa? Answer the question. Because this is very embarrassing mistake in your Quran.
So what does huwa mean then? If it's not
Huwa?
if it's not an original, if it's not, it means huh?
Huwa. So can you read Arabic here? Can you read this? Okay, please read. This is Hafs.
فإن الله هو إن الله هو
Ganiyo. So you can see huwa in Hafs.
yeah,
But in
which means
it's removed in Warsh. So in Warsh, فَإِنَّ لَهَا.
does it negate the meaning? Is the meaning different? Does it change the meaning?
Was there a huwa or there was no huwa? Please answer.
'Cause I'm not really familiar with it.
Okay, let me insist the question. Was there a huwa in the Ottomanic original text or there was no huwa?
I'm not sure. I don't know which
sure.
qiraat are you talking
Thank you so
about.
much for admitting that you're not sure. Thank you. How about this? I want to present this to you. I don't know if you can answer this. Is it fine?
No.
It says Hafs versus Shuba. Are you ready to answer this?
No, I'm not.
Okay, but for example, but here's the real contradiction now. Okay? So according to this, we have this Shuba version and the Hafs version, no? This one is the Shuba version. This is Hafs. If you go down, we can see this. The other one is this is Shuba version. Shuba, S-H-A, Shuba Quran. In Hafs Quran, this is chapter 7 or Al-Araf, verse 69. Chapter 7, verse 69. So if we read the verse 69, you can see here. I'll just read it here, maybe here. Let's start it here. Qawme Nuhin wazadakum fil qalqi. So the letter being used is sod. You see the sod? On the bottom of it, there's a little letter, sin. So what is being used is sod, but they put it here on top of it, sin, bastata. So sod, you can see it's sod, right? Not the sin. Instead of sin, they wrote sod. But if you go to the Tashkent Quran, the original text, you can see that the word is not really this, but this one, sin. I'll show you. So this is the Tashkent Quran. This is from your website. In the Tashkent Quran, this is the Tashkent Quran. This is a 9th century manuscript. Surah chapter 7, 69. What is in this Tashkent Quran? The word being used is seen. You can see it's seen, bastata. So the one being used is seen. That's in the Tashkent Quran, in the 9th century Quran. But if you go to the Shuba and in Hafs, it is changed. It became sod, not seen. Now the question there, what was really in the original Quran? Is it seen or is it sod? Can you answer? Do you know what was the time they replaced it into sod? Because it was seen in the 9th century Tashkent Quran. Then suddenly it changed.
Who's that? Who says that?
Do you know who changed it? Are you aware?
Who says that it was changed?
It was changed in the 1924 Egyptian version in the in the Cairo edition.
Who
Was
says
during
that?
1924. During
No,
1924,
that is not true. It's not true, dude.
That's the history.
Right.
Those people in Egypt, those Muslims in Egypt, during the 1924 edition of the Quran under the King Fuad's edition, King Fuad, not King Fahd, King Fuad. It was authorized by King Fuad. They decided to change the sin into sod because they could not read it completely in the original text because there was no tashkil, there was no harakat. So, in order for them to read it more clear, they decided to change it into sod. They removed the sin. They replace it into sod.
Sure. I don't know how. Obviously, I can't believe you. Whatever you're saying. Yeah. But,
Go. Read your history.
I'll read the history. I don't see that as a contradiction. Changing.
It is a contradiction
Obviously, that is not true. I don't even believe in that story.
Was changed into a different letter. Changing of words is not a contradiction for you. Oh, come on, Eddie.